Namaste and welcome to Light, Laughter, and Lattes. My name is Geri Habstritt. I'm an Avesa quantum healer, medical intuitive, self-ascension intuitive counselor, and your host today for Light, Laughter, and Lattes. So welcome everyone at Oneness Talk Radio, Facebook, and YouTube. Hi, I'm glad you're here. The chat is open. You can jump in and say hi. And the call line is also open as well today, and I'll put the number up here shortly. So you can call in if you have a question, which you might, because I have a fabulous guest today who can bring in messages from the Divine Mother. And so you might have a question for her as well. And if you are listening to this via Spotify or one of the podcasts, come on over to OTR Facebook or YouTube on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time and join us live. Join in the chat. We have a great community of loving people here. And so let's start. I'm so excited about today's guest. And wow, there's a lot to be said about the Divine Mother, about bringing in messages, about self-love. And all of those things are so needed right now. And I know many of you who are watching this show really are seeking a divine connection, a stronger divine connection, maybe more self-healing, or you've already got that connection, but you just want to be with others who are with others who are like you. And so today is a perfect day for that. Connie Huebner is a leading spiritual luminary. She's the founder of Divine Mother Guidance and Healing and Divine Mother Church. And she communicates with the Divine Mother and brings profound divine messages of healing and knowledge for many people. Connie has written a book called Divine Mother Healing, where she gives tools from the Divine Mother for self-healing and self-love. Unique among spiritual teachers, Connie not only receives divine messages, but teaches others to receive them as well. She can teach anyone to receive their own answers to life's questions from Jesus, Mother Mary, the Ascended Master Babaji, or any divine being. So Connie is here to tell us about the journey that brought her to the Divine Mother and how that wisdom passed along to her is resonating across the globe. There we go. Welcome, Connie.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. And wonderful
Glad to have you here. So let's start out with, first of all, how these messages started coming in, how you got this connection to not only the Divine Mother, but the Ascended Masters and the Archangelic realm. How did that all begin for you?
Well, I was a longtime teacher of meditation, and I was teaching many people how to meditate. And I kept dropping into that infinite source, that pure field at the source of all life, and which is wonderful and beautiful and sacred. And out of that, I kept getting this urge to communicate with God, truly, a divine being. Through the meditation, you center into just a silence, just a depth and an expansion of silence. And I was very deep, but I kept thinking, I really want to talk to God. And so I went on what I called a quest to find the kingdom of heaven, to find the place where the archangels lived and where the divine beings resided. And I would really research it by closing my eyes. And instead of sinking deep, I would say, Jesus, show me, where are you? I want to talk to you. I was so deep, I was beyond speech. I was beyond thinking even. And so I needed to come up a little bit more to where the divine beings resided as a vibration and as a form. And so it was pretty silent at first because that's where I was used to being and going. And as I sat there day to day, um, nothing would happen for a while. And I thought, this is boring. And I kept saying, please, where are you? I'm looking for the kingdom of heaven. And one day I saw light in the corner of my vision. And I started watching it. As I watched that light started to reveal itself to me. Active field and that depth of silent wholeness where I had been living. And so I started watching the light, and light showed me so many things that it could do. It could become a wave. It could become a soft glow. It could break into 1,000 spots. And the other amazing thing it to do was flow into me. And as it flowed into me, I felt incredibly enlivened and awake and connected to some intelligence, to some knowledge. It took me a while to figure out that all I had to do was ask a question and I could receive an answer. But over the year, I mean, I really did this for many months, and then it turned into many years, until, and I discovered I was using Jesus as my guide, and Jesus did come and speak to me and guide me and reveal to me healing tools that I needed because I had blockages in my system that were preventing me full communication with the divine. And divine light was one of them. I needed to fill myself with more of the divine light into me in a very lively and consistent way. And then I developed other tools that actually were healing blockages in my system, resistances or fears, shame, anger, all of those things that were blocking me from really embracing, unifying, and receiving what I wanted from the divine presence. So all these tools were given to me: divine light, divine love, divine truth, a tool I call the go command, which clears the blockages. You can say go into the light. A tool that breaks structures, vibrational structures of thought forms and thought patterns that don't serve the truth that we have bought into and believed. And they have structured themselves in our mental and emotional and even physical field. So I've learned how to break those through this, but by acknowledging or kind of cognizing the break command. So I collected all of these tools, and then I started using them on myself. And one day as I was using them, this is how I met the Divine Mother, because Jesus truly was my original guide. But I kept going. And one day I was watching the light emerge from this divine source. And as I watched it emerge, it broke into, it rose like a wave. And then the wave broke into 2 waves. And then that wave broke into 4 waves and more waves of light. And then they started interacting with each other and creating out of each other and then breaking up again. And I was awed by the majesty and beauty of this image I was seeing. And I said at one point, "Who are you?" And what came back to me was, I am the Divine Mother. I am birthing the universe. And then she continued to show me how she developed and worked with light until actually layers and layers were developed of form and flow. And then atoms were created. And out of atoms, molecules. And then the physical forms were created. Matter was created. And I was just amazed by it. And at that time, I decided I'm signing on with the Divine Mother. I want to learn what she knows. And so from that point on, I started to work with the Divine Mother. And I've received many beautiful messages from her. She's very much wanting us to to be our fullest self, to be the creative people that we are. And of course, one of the most creative gestures that we can take is to help heal this planet and help heal the human race and bring life on earth back into balance. So that is one of her profound themes. And but at the same time, we do that by individually healing ourselves and bringing ourselves into the place of divine awareness, and yet being grounded on the planet, because we're bringing this divinity, this profound divinity, to this material field that's been in ignorance, in darkness for centuries, and it needs to be lifted out of it. So the Divine Mother is here to be very hands-on and work with us. She wants an intimate relationship with each of us, and it's beautiful. So I started everything I do is about the Divine Mother. Once you start talking to Divine Mother, as you were asking and saying earlier, all of the other divine beings are available to you, because they all reside in that same place, that subtlest layer of creation, where that unbounded, unmanifest field is just manifesting into form. And they're all there, and really, all you have to do is say their name, and they emerge out of this unbounded, formless ocean of wholeness. So I teach people how to do that. And wonderful knowledge has come out, and tremendous healing, because that's really what we need on this planet. We need to come back into our true self. We need to be integrated with the divine, integrated with our union divine, and then start to share it with others, so that the horrible things that are happening on this planet be healed, and just then the power of the creative impulse can really surge forth and give us a blessing beyond any blessings this planet has ever seen before. Truly human beings. I notice that you in your work talk about the ascension, and I even have a program called the Ascension Program, where those interested in ascension join, and we always go deep. We do a deep clearing. We clear, and not only we clear the planet, and then we are in that pristine place where the divine is with us, and we can receive the divine messages. And they're not only messages about what to do to help the planet, balancing nature and healing the wounds in the human population, but it's also about who we are, and that the human race as a whole is destined to be a race of gods, believe it or not. We are really destined for some beautiful things, and to create a beautiful world on this planet. However long that takes, it's worth working for.
Yeah,
So
right now there's just a bunch of gods in hiding.
exactly. Exactly. That's so true. We're all gods in hiding. Many people are afraid to come forward with what they know, because in past lifetimes and so on, we have been burned to the stake and crucified and
Yep,
killed.
didn't turn out well.
So that does create a lot of trepidation in us. But the atmosphere here, I found, is more receptive now, and people are looking for this. And luckily we live in a country that isn't that is open to this, and many people are interested. And as we grow and share what we know, more people are getting on board. And the
Well, Connie,
beautiful, I
go
just
ahead.
want to the old wounds that people have, whether from this life or another life, can be healed. And that's the first step that I've made. Is I've created a book. It's actually a workbook with all the healing tools I've received, so that anyone can start to clear their fears, their doubts, the blocks, the pain, um, and really, I want to empower people to be divine, but also to be the healers that we need. We need healers on this planet, big time. People who know how to heal with energy that can lift the vibration. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, 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 that's okay. Yeah, I totally agree. And healing, I mean, I believe we're all healers, but it comes first. It comes first with self-healing. We become the best healer once we've healed ourselves. And the best way to do that is always to start with the heart. And you've mentioned that in some of your material, that self-love is the thing that we all need the most. And it's a constant thing. I've been on the path of self-healing and self-ascension for about 13 years now, and I'm still having to do self-love. Still, it's a constant thing. And so you mentioned that you have some exercises for opening the heart or softening the heart for self-love. Can you bring us all through one of those?
Oh, sure. Okay. Oh gosh, which one? um, so, well, the way I have actually a series of healing tools, and you can use them individually, or anyone can use them as a group. My book is, as I mentioned, is it's a workbook, truly. So you can do a long healing, and you just follow the pages, and it'll take you right through. And it starts with breathing into the heart, because the heart is the home of Divine Mother. And I want to mention that Divine Mother is coming forth on this planet. She's actually the unity of that Mother, Father, God presence. But the mother aspect is coming forward now, because we need her so desperately. We need those qualities of the mother: the love, the nourishment, the nurturing, and the tremendous creativity. I mean, the divine feminine births things, creates, and we need that creativity to change and advance our world. So let's breathe into the heart and connect with the Divine Mother. Her home is in the heart. In fact, often she says, I'm the love expert. So breathing into the heart center and notice what's there. It's not hard to breathe into the heart. It's between the lungs. So all you have to do is notice the lungs that are breathing already. And then shift your attention to the heart, not just the physical heart, but the heart energy center, the heart chakra, if you will. And breathe into that whole heart energy center naturally, consistently, and notice if there's heaviness or tightness there of any kind. If there's a blockage or a density. If there is, breathe into it. The breath carries life force, and the life force opens up those blocks. So breathe into the heart. And if there are no blocks, breathe into whatever you're noticing. You might be noticing silence or light, expansion. Breathe into that. Just breathing in. And what happens as you breathe in is what's going on in the heart will shift and change. So the next step is to notice the change and then breathe into that, whatever the situation has changed into. Breathing into it. If it's expansion, it will open more. If it's a blockage, it will dissolve and shift. And I call on the divine nectar. I really call on it by its Sanskrit name, which is Soma, S-O-M-A. And I'll often say Soma, Soma. In fact, I invite you to say Soma, Soma, and breathe into the heart. Softening, expanding, allowing, healing your heart by dissolving the blockages. And then I'll keep doing that for a while with people. But at a certain point, you can actually say, Divine Mother, come forth. When the heart is clear, when it's open and settled. And if you notice a block, you can say to the block, go into the light, or break. Opening the heart. And then when you invite Divine Mother, pause for a minute. I call upon Divine Mother. And then wait. Allow yourself to notice what happens. You may notice a shift of energy. You may notice a deepening. You may notice a ripple of energy through your body.
That's what I'm noticing.
Mm-hmm. So then say to that energy, are you Divine Mother? And then notice the energy response. What does the energy do? How does it communicate back? How does it answer your question?
Mm-hmm.
What do you notice?
For me, it dances. So like it's almost like when I was on a San Pedro journey, the veils dropped and I could see everything. And as I appreciated creation and noticed that was there and gave my consciousness to it, it got excited and danced because it noticed me noticing it. And then the molecules shifted. So that's what I'm feeling as we do this.
Beautiful. In very simple language, you're noticing that energy is expanding. And the way you notice it is through this dance. The way someone else might notice it is just a warmth expanding. I just want to let your listeners know that individually we experience this uniquely based on who we are and our unique relationship with the divine. But in general, everyone, if it is Divine Mother, will notice expansion, something that indicates expansion. And that is an energetic yes. The question we asked was, are you Divine Mother? And now she's saying in her own unique language to each person, yes. So the next thing I ask is, and this is a message of discernment, do you come in the name of divine truth? We want to make sure that we're really connected to the fundamental level of knowledge and experience. Do you come in the name of divine truth? Do you come in the name of the infinite truth? And then soften and wait and notice what the energy does. Yes. Again, there'll be an expansion of some kind or a deepening. Are you noticing that?
Absolutely.
No. Yes. So again, you got a yes. If the energy were to contract, that would be a no. And all you have to do when you get a no is say go into the light or break or pour in more light. It just means there's a little density, there's a little blockage. So you could say go into the light, break, but stay soft. So you got another yes, and I'm assuming many of the people listening did. So we continue, and then the last, well, that's not the last question, but the next important question is, what is your message? Now here, it's again, we're working with energy, so the message will come first as energy, and then we have to translate it into words. We can at first feel it, intuit the words, intuit the message. And eventually, we become capable of really just translating it directly. Because you learn how to translate an energy language into your language, in our case, English. So, are you getting a message? I mean,
not really, but only because I'm hosting a show and monitoring things. So if I was able to just be in my own space, it would probably be a little bit different.
right. I'm sorry
But
to put you on the spot
no,
like
no,
that.
that's okay. But if are you able to bring a message for there's a group here that's all
Yeah.
tuning in and they're saying
Oh,
their
sure.
crown is tingling and
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Um, well, one of the most common beginning messages, in fact, often get this message is often the way she starts is, let's do it, Divine Mother. So I'm in this internal conversation with her, which anyone can be in. And she's saying, I love you. I am the Divine Mother. I come in the name of the infinite truth of the universe. I love you. I know who you are. And I want you to open to that truth and allow the truth to come forth, because you have tremendous gifts to give this planet. You have tremendous gifts to open your heart to. I want you to know that we are in a huge time of transformation. And trust that you are a very significant part of it. You are here to bring the light. And even in the midst of all of the tremendous challenges we face, on this earth plane today. You are here to shine the light. And you can call on me at any moment, and I will spring to your assistance. I will guide you. I will answer your questions. I will heal your hearts. The deepest wounds are in the heart. And I want to heal them for you. I love you. I have a lot more to say to you. I don't think we have hours and hours right now. But I would love to share more with you. I don't even know how much more time we have, so
Yeah, it's okay. But that was beautiful. So the practice that you took us through was how you teach people to find their own answers for themselves, correct?
yeah, how I teach people to connect with the Divine Mother who has the answers.
Right.
And eventually you realize that you and the Divine Mother are one, that there's no difference between you.
Mhm.
But this universe is set up so that we are all one, but we play as two or three or
Mhm.
10.
Mhm.
But the safety and the security comes when you recognize that you are one with God, you are one with the divine, or mother, father God. Here I'm talking about Mother God. She's the same as God. And fear disappears when you reach that point. And so much grace opens up and knowledge starts to flow. So that anything you want to know is revealed to you. And if you find yourself in a stuck place, I've brought these tools for you to use to clear those stuck places. You say break or go or fill me with more divine light, fill me with more divine love. You are all healers, as we have already said. And this set of healing tools that I'm offering is something to add to your toolkit.
Well,
And
and what
then
I like about excuse me, what I like about them is that they're commands. So as opposed to being a victim, with the help me, please save me, it's a command, break, go to the light.
right.
They're all words that are empowering and speaking as the creator. I am the creator, so this is how I command the creation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So beautiful. So perfect that you get this. I'm not surprised. The other thing that's important to know is what we say is created. So when
Mhm.
we say divine light is pouring into me, it pours in. Some people will have the subtle perception to be able to perceive it, and eventually everyone will. But if you don't have it yet, you should just know that when you say divine light is filling me now, divine mother is surrounding me with her love now, that is literally happening in the vibratory field. So you can be masters of vibration. It's truly a mastery. And that's why it's so important when you think negative thoughts, especially critical self talk. to stop it, to just change it, because it's like stabbing yourself with a knife when you say or think negative things about yourself, which unfortunately is a human habit that
Yes.
everyone needs to stop. And we need to even help each other stop it. By when you
Yes,
hear,
absolutely.
yeah, when you hear somebody saying, "Oh, I'm just a jerk. I didn't do that very well." Say, "No, you tried. You did a good job. Something good did happen just because you worked it. You worked the energy with good intention." And intentions are very powerful. Positive intentions do a tremendous amount to create positive experience. Negative intentions are destructive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, our intentions are our driving force of
Yeah,
our whole energy field and everything we do. I mean, without an intention, we're kind of
right,
wandering aimlessly.
right. That's right. And human beings are made in the image of God, which means we are creators. And at this time on the planet, people have forgotten that. And
Mhm,
we're still creating, but we're creating with our negative thoughts, our destructive thoughts, our
mhm.
anger and fear-based thoughts. And look what we've created: anger, fear, destruction, war. And we can
Exactly.
change it the same way we created it, by
Yeah.
sending the divine energy in, and by taking, well, actually, a lot of it was created because we were in despair. We didn't know who we were, what to do. And now we know, we're learning who we are and the beauty and the good that we can create. And let's get to work doing it.
Absolutely. Well, and that's the way we'll do it too is by lifting consciousness. So the more people that do the self-healing, that ignite their hearts and lift, ascend or lift in consciousness, the more people they're able to take with them who aren't even aware that they even have a consciousness, may possibly,
You-
that are
yeah,
still asleep. So the more people that do that, the more people that come along with, and that's how things ultimately will get changed. It's like the drop of the pebble in the ocean, right? The pebble of consciousness.
mhm,
So,
mhm.
yeah, things like you're doing that assist this, and many others out there.
Yeah.
Is there anything more you would like to add before we say goodbye?
Yes. Well, I'm asking Divine Mother. Yes. She's saying yes. She says, okay, I'll kind of like, lots of times people don't know when I've shifted over to Divine Mother. Sometimes I don't even know. But so she's saying, I am Divine Mother. I come in the name of the infinite truth. You are powerful. You are a divine being living in a physical form. You are radiant. You are good. And I want you to know this. I want you to stand in your beauty and your strength. This is really what I want you to know. And I have created, can I show this? I've created this. This
Mhm.
is a
Yep.
workbook. And it is a workbook. It has about 40 pages of my personal story, how I discovered this and what how I grew and learned and so on. But in this book are these tools that shift energy. So no matter where you are or what you're doing, you can change the energy. If you walk into a room and everybody is, angry and upset, you can start, even inwardly, doesn't have to be out loud. You can start saying, break, go into the light, to the negative energy, go. And actually, the go into the light is a blessing. It's sending this harsh energy into the light. What for transformation.
Right.
So what I want to do and is to empower you in the truth of who you are, a divine being in a physical form who has all the answers inside you. Nothing can overwhelm you when you know this. You can go inside and call on me, because calling on me is calling on you. Call on me, and we will work things out in your life together. You don't have to suffer. Suffering is not who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So let me help you. You have a friend in the unseen who is within your heart. And I want to show you and share with you how to clear any pain, any fear, the sense of unworthiness that so many people carry, not being good enough. It's a lie. It's an untruth. We have to clear that. I want you to know what an incredible, beautiful being you are. And I want to empower you in that. I empower you in it by taking you into your heart, by clearing your throat, clearing the blocks to speaking the truth of who you are in your throat, and by awakening the gifts you have inside. You all have gifts. You were born with a divine purpose. And you have a special gift that's different than anyone else's. It has its own flavor. It may be similar. We've already said that you're all healers, but you all have your special, unique approach to that. Even if you're using the same healing tools that we've presented in this book, you will use them in your own unique and specialized way because they're coming through your energy field. And they'll be touched by the divine gifts that you are bringing to the planet. It's beautiful. And I love you and I honor you. And I want to have a personal relationship with you. So I thank you for listening to me. And I thank you even more for listening to me within your heart, because that's where I am. I guess I'm going to mention this is Connie, or this is the practical side of Divine Mother, Connie. And I'm saying, I do teach classes. I teach people how to connect and get into conversation with Divine Mother. One of the most important things I teach is how to discern that you are really talking to Divine Mother, and that very important, because so many people get fooled by some faker spirit or
Astral
some
energies.
astral. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to know. That's why I use that test always. Do you come in the name of the divine truth? The divine truth is that we are all one. And any great being who has gained that experience of oneness comes in the name of the divine truth. But these lesser beings, these lower entities, they're still on their evolutionary path.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't answer yes to that question. And you'll know. You'll feel the pinch. You'll feel your energy won't expand like it does with the divine energies. It'll bump up against some kind of a blockage, and that blockage needs to be set into the light for healing. So it's a beautiful skill, and it's a beautiful experience to communicate with the Divine Mother.
And so important that we have, and it's nice to have a process, because there's so many mistruths in the world right now. And ultimately, we all need to trust ourselves and not ask for advice about ourselves outside of ourselves. So to have a tool to learn to trust your own answer, trust within, is really an important gift for everyone to be able to do.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, Connie. Well, this was great. And thank you all in the chat for tuning in and jumping in and saying hi. So grateful for all of you. And I just want to remind everyone, on December 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, there's going to be a panel discussion with all of us Oneness Talk Radio hosts. And Shri and Kira will be a part of that as well. You can watch it on Oneness Talk Radio YouTube and official Shri and Kira YouTube as well, I believe. And we're going to be discussing how to keep our immunities high and stay healthy and vital during COVID. And we're going to talk a little bit about of just keeping ourselves healthy and where we are at this time in our world. So hope you can all join us there. And thank you, Connie. Have a great week, and have a great week, everyone.
Can I give my website address?
Absolutely. And I have your links attached. If it's on YouTube below and Facebook above, so you can
thank
get a
you.
hold. Absolutely.
So, my website is divinemotheronline.net, and I'd love to have you visit and hear more about Divine Mother.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me on today.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.